So, I'm a drummer. I also love Honkai Star Rail. Now, after I did a reaction and drummer's breakdown of the Cocolia boss theme Wildfire from right here on Star Rail, started getting a lot of other requests for other songs, and one of the most requested is Freestyle. Now, if my understanding is correct, this is the song that plays at the start of the game during our initial encounter with Kafka and the Silver Wolf. So as usual, we're gonna give it a listen, break it down from a drummer's point of view. If you like the video, thumbs up gang. Where you at? Be sure to check out the rest of my drummer breakdown videos and catch us streaming right here on YouTube. Come hang out any old time. We'd love to see you there. Let's give this song a listen. All right, now I already know that the Herta Space Station songs absolutely bop and are super funky. So I'm gonna be curious to see which one of those songs this is. This is Freestyle. Ooh. Not wasting any time. Building up. Ooh. It feels like it's still building. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that bass line, bro. I mean, that's not one of these basses. That's one of these basses, but still. Woo! Ooh. Ooh. Punchy little breakdown, building back up. Oh, wait. Is this what plays? Is this what plays when we do our polls? Woo! Dang, dude. Is this the song that plays when you get a 5-star too? Oh! Damn! There's so much happening. Is that it? Wow, that's a short song. Hang on, let's give that another listen. There's so much happening that I just had to soak that in. Let's break it down a little bit here. There are a lot of phases in that song, especially for a song that's only like a minute and a half long. They go through a lot of different phases and transitions. Let's break those down. So there is a lot of what makes the song feel so active and make it feel like there's so much movement is there's a ton of rhythm happening. Now, in other videos, we talk about how sometimes they will use non-rhythm instruments to create rhythm whenever they aren't using any sort of percussion so that it sounds less atmospheric and still has a little bit more structure to it. In this song, they're almost doing the opposite by using non-percussion instruments to create rhythm while also using percussion instruments and having a traditional rhythm and percussion backbone to the song. We can hear that right here from the very start. They've got a very straight, it sounds like it's just 8th note bass line on the synth, and then they've got the actual drum beat happening, then the little dun 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 dun. It's very syncopated, dun, rather than like dun 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 dun. It's creating a ton of motion at, I don't know if it's actually that high of a tempo, but because there's so much motion and rhythm happening, it feels super energetic. Dun 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 dun. You know the bass. Dig it, 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 dig it. Then the actual drum beat. They've got a little bit of. Holy cow. Then that bass line is just nasty. They drop out of the straight 8th notes that they were doing in that initial build-up and just go bum, 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 bum. That's like the melody right now. You can hear it in the background. That would be like if it were acoustic percussion, probably just like a wood block, like a dun, 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 dun. I don't know what the exact pattern is, but it's not falling just like a 1, 2, 3, 4. They're filling in and dropping out, which again is creating like some tension in the rhythm because they have other things that are carrying the more straightforward, like 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got actually the kick and the snare is just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So they have the freedom to open up like that wood block right there. It's kind of serving as like the rhythm from the hi-hat where that would usually be. And I don't think they're using any hi-hat during that little buildup. Let's listen back on it though. Oh, there is actually there is a hi-hat also doing There, we got to go back. There is actually a hi-hat in addition to the little wood block or the clap happening there. There's a hi-hat also not doing just straight eighth notes or even, you know, quarter notes. It's going like 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3, something like that. Let's see if we can listen to that in more detail. There's just so much happening. It's hard to follow. You guys hear that? Whoa! Oh! Now this is just a straight good old-fashioned 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just straight kick and snare beat, and then they mix it up on the little breakdowns with each transition between the measure. Can you guys hear that in the background? Little dance hi-hat going. Oh man. All right, so let's try and go back to the middle of the song before the big build up right there and try and follow that a little bit more closely. It's super chaotic for a reason. I mean, it's chaotic by design. All right, we'll go back a little bit further. Basically a little halftime breakdown right here, leading into the big climax at the end of the song. Oh my gosh. And so they're breaking up the synth and the melody lines a lot because it's got that straight kick snare beat going, which provides a very solid and comfortable foundation for the rest of the song. So everything else is going off the damn rails right now. Going off the damn star rails, if you will. Oh, this is such a fun song. Dang, that is so cool. Man, that's a fun song. That's really different from a lot of the other songs that we've listened to in this little drummer breakdown series that we do. And the fact that not only is it super short, it's 1 minute and 26 seconds. That's on the official release. But it goes through so many phases and transitions, kind of like how they compose their major boss fight themes and anthems. But those are usually spread out over the course of, 4 to 6 minutes, if not longer, depending on how many phases are in the boss fight. And they put all that into 1 minute and 26 seconds. So it's super aggressive, super fast paced, super in your face, but there is still dynamic in the way that they deliver the song. From the beginning to the outro, they gradually build. We talked about this on a couple of other songs when watching the Star Rail live concert, in that they kind of gradually build you into that massive climax at the end through a series of build-ups and drop-offs. Oilmix does this all the time. I talk about it fairly often in these videos. And what they do is they just build up, drop off, build up a little higher, drop off a little more, build up a little higher, drop off a little more, and then a massive climax. And sometimes they will go through 3 or 4 phases of building up and dropping off to gradually build you up to a very huge dynamic at the end of the song. That way they're not going just from 0 to 100 immediately. You go from 0 to 40, down to 20. Then you go from 20 to 60, down to 40. Then you go from 40 to 80, down to 60, then 60 to 100 from there. That's kind of like the graph of how they take you up and down in their songs on the journey through the whole song. This is a really interesting iteration of that because they do all of that in 1 minute and 26 seconds, which is really cool. So that's my reaction and breakdown of Freestyle from the Honkai Star Rail soundtrack. If there are other songs that you guys want to see me do, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Be sure to check the video description for a playlist including the rest of our drummer reaction videos. Watch us streaming right here on YouTube. I'd love to have you hanging around, and hey, we got a link to Discord in the description too. Join us there. Tons of chaotic fun happening in that server every day. Lots of new people to make friends with. Love the games, love yourself, and I love you. Bye!